How's it going, everyone? Let me know if the audio is a-okay. But yeah, welcome to the late night special number 2. Not gonna lie, my camera is broken, everyone, so there won't be a host segment. Well, no host scene in any case. But we're gonna be here all night long. Well, until the rounds finish, of course. There's still about 5 minutes left in the current round, waiting on one more match before we start our top 8. Top 8 is pretty much guaranteed, though. There's literally 4 people who ID'd with 611 or better. So unfortunately, 62 does not make you here. You have Tom Hagen playing Giratina Lost Box, Harrison Birch playing the Arceus Keys, Josh Brink playing Lost Box, H Gibbon 13 playing Lost Box as well. Elfred with Mew Genesect, Nimno playing Gudra Lost Zone Box, Isla Sutherland playing Arceus Giratina, and David Hendrickson on Lost Box as well. So 3 Lost Box, 1 Lost Box Gudra, 1 Mew Genesect, 1 Arceus Giratina, 1 Arceus Giratina, 1 Giratina Lost Box, and 1 Arceus Keys. Quite the mix here tonight at the late night. We have 1 guaranteed stream match at the very least. Again, Josh Frink, Shuffle Squad member, great teammate, and even greater friend. Cannot wait to feature their game here, but we'll have to wait for the next round. Looks like we do have our game here. It's going to be Josh Frink against Nimno. Lost Zone Gudra against Lost Zone with, well, Turbo Lost Zone. You know, the thing we've seen multiple times. Three of the top 8 from the last Milwaukee Regional Championship. Should be interesting. I didn't quite get to see a match against a Gudra. On paper, Gudra seems like the favored matchup, right? Gudra, V-Star, of course, 270 HP Pokemon. So that has effectively 350 HP if you're trying to hit it directly. Also has the Moisture Star V-Star power, which heals damage. On paper, that seems like quite a tough matchup for Lost Box for sure. Just waiting for both players to get into a game. Once we're into the game, I'll transition over to the game screen. But again, what's everyone's predictions here from the late night? Again, if you like what you're watching here, make sure you comment down below. I'm reading the comments, but when we're casting, we're going to be only casting the game here. All right, looks like they are about to start the match. Paldea Evolve should drop this Thursday, I believe, so tomorrow. All right, looks like our game is ready. Here we go. Again, it's going to be Josh Frink. Josh Frink against Nimno. Again, Josh Frink, great player here. Member of the Shuffle Squad. Not too familiar with Nimno, but I'm sure they made it here in the top 8 of the late night special. Number 2, making it to top 8 in itself is a huge accomplishment, especially with over like 100 plus players coming in tonight to play the game. Josh is going to start us off with a Raikou. Not the most optimum start, but you do draw 1 extra card here, thanks to the fleet-footed ability. They do have a Battle VIP pass in hand as well, has switch card, have switching options. Let's go. Nimno looks like they did start pretty optimally with that Comfey. Here we go, we're going to see the fleet-footed first. Of course, able to draw 1 card as long as it's the active Battle VIP pass played up next. Let's see what they opt to grab. Probably 2 Comfeys. Again, goal of the Lost Box game is to get... The goal of the Lost Box game is to get key numbers into the Lost Zone. 4, 7, and 10. And you can't quite do that until you start flower selecting. And here we go, flower selecting number 1, Battle VIP Pass or Escape Rope. Tough choice here, Battle VIP Pass, again, very powerful card at the start of the game, but Escape Rope though, you can force the opponent's Comfey to the bench as well as get your own Comfey into the active and gets another flower selecting there. Chorus Experiment, pretty big, but it does send the Echoing Horn to the Lost Zone, and I think that's actually a very big card in this matchup. You want to be able to Echoing Horn a multiple prize Pokemon to the bench. Like, for example, maybe a Goodra V that hits the discard pile. But you know what? What's even more important than setting up knockouts is really getting to play the game. And Chorus Experiment, as if you don't have that in your opening hand, it can get tough to really refill your hand, get more cards into the Lost Zone. As again, Nimbo here does get to flower select 1 time, sends a Metal Energy to the Lost Zone. Do they have anything else? V-Guard Energy on to... Oh, V-Guard Energy onto the Goodra. That's not that much. Josh here has Chorus Experiment. He has Dragonite in hand. Dragonite does cap out at 250 damage. That's pretty big. That's a lot of damage. That's enough to take a knockout on Goodra. They can opt to go in the grass. They can opt to be really aggressive here. Flower selecting, sending the Pokestop to the Lost Zone. Yeah, they can opt to be very aggressive here. Again, Dragonite in hand, they have the Mirage Gate. As long as if they can draw into something like another Escape Rope, they potentially have the knockout here. Flower selecting, opts to get rid of the Psychic Energy, is going to opt to grab Cramorant, so they do have an attacker just in case. Looks like they're going the safe route here. Just going to go ahead and retreat onto the Cramorant, take a knockout on their lone Comfey, and getting rid of a potential for flower selecting. Josh Frink takes the first knockout. First person to take the prize of this game. There's the Escape Rope. As we move on over to Nimbo's side again. All they have right now is a Hisuian Goodra. Metal Energy attachment to the Goodra. That's it. Things could get very sticky. The Dragonite play is still possible. And it's just going to have to be a pass. Again, this is why I was talking about how important Chorus Experiment is to the game. I want to see if Josh decides to try and end the game here. They have Pokestop, they have Escape Ropes, they have ways to get to 7. They're already at 6 here. If they can find a switch out option with the Comfey, they essentially win this game. Right here, right now, I believe. Flower selecting played. Look, there's an Escape Rope. As long as there's a Lightning Energy and a Water Energy in the in the deck. This could be game. There it is, water energy, and the lightning energy is going to be attached to that Dragonite. And right now, all that's lacking is one more basic water, has it in hand. Escape Rope is going to push Dragonite into the active Dragon Scale. 250 damage reduced by the V-Guard energy is still enough for the knockout on that Goodra. And Josh Frank takes a swift victory here in Game 1 of the top 8 of the Late Night Special number 2. Absolutely huge. Again, if you give Lost Box an inch, they do take a mile. Missing out on a couple of key turns. Again, missing out on a Chorus Experiment, missing out on actually even just attacking there. And again, it gave Lost Box just enough to maneuver. Very, very big. But again, Nimb is we are playing a best of 3 format here today. So that's why Bazoo Lost Box. Yeah, we're playing a best of 3 format. Again, that's why even if you lose Game 1, even if you lose Game 1, it's not the end of the world. You could still claw your way back in for sure. All right. I'm actually curious if Lost Zone Goodra decides to go second. Typically, Lost Box decks really opt to go second against their against mirror matches, right? That if you go second, you have the potential to attack with the Cramorant turn 1. Could mean the difference here. But again, Goodra does depend on evolving a Goodra into a Goodra V-Star, so I can totally understand why Nimbo opts to go first here. Ultra Ball being played now, could find any Pokemon from the deck. Maybe just another Comfey. Not too bad there, so we can at least guarantee 1 flower selecting here. If they have 1 more energy or switch card in hand, they should get at least 2 cards until Lost Zone, and that is very, very important at the start of the game. Let's see here. There is second flower selecting. Again, this is always the tough part of playing Lost Box, right? I feel like that was a tough decision. When you see that pause, it just means maybe both cards are good there. Looks like didn't quite get a Goodra into the Lost Zone. Josh's hand here, not the best. Will get a second Comfey though. Will at least match Nimbo's board. Has the energy attachment in hand to retreat into the second Comfey. So at least both players will get at least 2 cards into their Lost Zone. And just a switch card there isn't quite going to do much. And yeah, Josh is just forced to drop the Sableye and just pass here. Back to Nimbo again. Both players not the most explosive starts. Nimbo does find a Nest Ball, could find themselves a Cramorant here just to start swinging, but it's going to opt for the Goodra V instead. Gets Chorus Experiment, so their hand is not as bad. 4 cards now in the Lost Zone. They had a Cramorant. They have a chance to just start taking knockouts here. All right, Flower selecting 5 cards now to Lost Zone. Switch card into another Comfey. Means 6 cards in the Lost Zone. Attachment there onto the Goodra. All right. Both flower selectings have been played, Chorus has been played, and it's just going to be a pass there. Just really trying to set up that Goodra V. Let's see what Josh has in store for us. Flower selecting does find the Raikou. Again, Raikou, pretty good card here just because we do have the Forest Seal Stone in hand. So we can pretty much guarantee at least a Chorus Experiment this turn. Oh, or we can find it off the flower selecting, able to save the Raikou, but sending another basic lightning energy into the Lost Zone could be tricky here. Let me look at Josh's deck real quick. They only play 3 lightning energy, so now there's only 1 left in deck. It's gonna be Chorus Experiment here, opting to grab double Mirage Gate and the Chorus Experiment. All right, let's see what else they can do. They're gonna opt to drop the Raikou, possibly to find an attacker, maybe just even find a Cramorant here. Let's see what they opt to do. Or find Radiant Greninja. Looks like Cramorant is prized. Looks like they have a couple of Pokemon prized. I mean, they could opt to find maybe even Hisuian Heavy Ball, but if they can attack with a Mirage Gate this turn, is that possible here? Not quite yet. Again, Moonlight Shuriken can threaten taking a knockout on both Comphase. There's 6 cards now into the Lost Zone. And no, without maybe something like a Lost Vacuum is what Josh was looking for off the concealed cards. We're not going to quite get there. Back to Nimbo again. It's so odd for Lost Zone to not take prizes against each other after a couple of turns here. All right. Give me 1 second, chat. Just need to fix a couple of things here. All right. Sorry about that, chat. Had to fix a couple of audio issues. All right, back to Nimbo. Looks like they're gonna actually strike first. Having a Cramorant, again, very important Pokemon in this matchup, because again, it's your early attacker, right? Cramorant, 110 damage with the Spit Innocently attack is enough to take knockouts on almost everything in a Lost Box deck besides the Pokemon V and the Radiant Greninja. We go back into Josh's turn here. They do have Flowers. Very easy choice there. Does have Mirage Gate. They're going to opt to use it here. They are going to accelerate a Water Energy and the Psychic Energy onto the Comfey just to be able to retreat. And we do have the basic Lightning Energy in hand. I like that sequencing of events there. Using the Mirage Gate first to ensure they don't draw into it. Chorus Experiment here, grabbing a couple of cards. I do like the Echoing Horn. I do like the choices here. Again, these feel like very, very important choices. At this point, switching cards are less important since we're so close to the 10 card threshold. As we go ahead and just retreat onto the Radiant Greninja. We're just gonna go ahead and Moonlight Shuriken here, take knockouts on 2 Comphase, do 90 damage to 2 Pokemon. Just like that, we're down to 4 cards left, 4 prizes left. However, how Josh will be able to take these last 4 prizes is the big question, right? Again, they do have Cramorant. That's potential 1 prize. That means they still have to take 3 more with only Hisuian Gudras left to deal with. Could be problematic here, but looks like Nimbo did opt to bench another Hisuian Gudra. That could be something Josh tries to play towards, right? Having 2 prize Pokemon in play, and Rolling Iron, you can only affect the active, right? Looks like it's just going to be a retreat there onto the Gudra, and there it is, Rolling Iron, 200 damage, reducing the damage done to Hisuian Gudra by 80. Gives it an effective HP of 350. That's an absolutely huge Pokemon, absolutely huge wall. I don't think Lost Box has the capability to really deal with this Pokemon. Luckily, they do have the Sableye, right? Sableye can potentially take a knockout on the Cramorant, go down to 1 prize from there. Does have Echoing Horn as well. If they can take a knockout on both the Gudra on the bench and a Pokemon in the discard pile, they could win this game. It's just a question of, again, really maneuvering into that scenario. Looks like they are going to opt to just use the Echoing Horn right now, possibly just take a prize here. Does play the Clara, can get back Comfey and the Radiant Greninja and 2 more energy. More importantly, I think that basic energy into the hand is absolutely big. Sorry, the basic Psychic, because it could be attacking with a Sableye this turn as long as we have 10 cards into the Lost Zone. Concealed cards is going to help us really draw into our deck there. And with the Beach Court, Comfey now has free retreat. And we're just going to go ahead and Lost Mine. Again, able to put 12 damage counters in play. It's like Josh here really splitting the damage up. Again, the key number is 250. By putting 20 damage on 2 Hisuian Gudras, that fixes the math, right? They are going to take a knockout here on the Comfey. In fact, they threaten knockout this next turn. They threaten game this next turn. How crazy is that? 20, all it takes is 20 damage on both Gudras. Nimbo has to use the Moisture Star ability to heal the active Gudra right now. Maybe in combination with something like a Judge if they play it. Seeing Gudra on the bench is now evolved as well. Roxanne, absolutely huge. If there was a card to be played that turn, it had to be Roxanne, forcing so many cards back into Josh's deck there, in combination with the Path to the Peak as well. Ooh, that's a 1-2 combo I'm sure Josh does not want to see. And I just have to say, Nimbo getting their degree there from value, because that was such a huge value turn. Back here to Josh. They do have the Lost Vacuum. They can send the Path to the Peak to the Lost Zone to start drawing once again with the Radiant Greninja. But the thing is, what do we send to the Lost Zone here? It looks like it's going to be that Energy Recycler once again. They could just Lost Vacuum one of the escape ropes. They have to keep one in hand at the very least. Sending the Path to the Peak to the Lost Zone there. Just to be able to conceal cards, they need to draw into something like a Chorus here. Not quite. They do have a Nest Ball. Try and thin the deck out. Maybe could possibly find another Comfey if they have one. If not, it's just going to be a pass here. Yeah, just grabbing one more Comfey, and it's just going to be a... Oh, good opt. They're going to opt to play this escape rope as well. Just really trying to dig through the deck. Again, right now, they're playing probably off a two-turn clock, potentially. Assuming, of course, Nimbo has the boss's orders in hand to take a knockout on the Raikou. Big flower selecting there is going to get them the Chorus's Experiment. The question is, what are we grabbing? Looks like Pokestop, double Energy Recycler. Could use the Pokestop here. The scary thing is the Kyogre is still in the deck, as well as a couple of Claras. If they discard a combination of those two cards, ooh, double Mirage Gate and Basic Energy. Josh here seems to be graduating from the same class, because that was value. Back here to Nimbo. Let's see what they do. Again, they have a pretty simple strategy of just taking knockouts. They have to take... They're essentially in a two-turn clock here, right? And what they need to do is, if they can Roxanne again, that would be huge, or even a Judge just to really disrupt hands here. 7 cards left in the deck. It's going to be a boss's orders right off the bat. Just taking out the Raikou, forcing Josh's hand. If Josh doesn't win this turn, would have loved to see a Moisture Star on the bench Gudra there as well, just to force a couple more cards off Josh's hand. Right now, 7 cards left in the deck. Does have to get switch cards so they can start digging here. Easy choice there. 4 cards left. The scary thing is the Kyogre is still in the deck, and I believe another Energy Recycler. If Josh draws into the wrong combination of cards, things get really scary. Very, very scary here. Here we go. Flower selecting. Clara and a Battle VIP Pass. That means the last two cards are Recycler and Kyogre. I think the last two cards are Recycler and Kyogre. Josh just gonna use Clara, get a couple of cards back into the hand. Radiant Greninja should be able to draw the last two cards here. Does he have enough? Are we right? The last two, yes, the last two were Energy Recycler plus that Kyogre, so that flower selecting was absolutely huge. Escape Rope now being played to put the Kyogre into the active, and I'm pretty sure Josh has it here with two Energy Recyclers plus the Mirage Gate. As long as we have 7 energies in the deck, this should be good enough. I think it's exactly 7. Mirage Gate now played, attaching a water and the basic lightning. 3 cards in. There's 3 cards in the deck. That's 150 damage. We need 2 more. There's more than enough here. Shuffling in 3 Psychic Energy, and just like that, we're gonna see Aqua Storm discarding the top 5 cards of the deck, doing 250 damage to 2 Pokemon. Josh taking out Goodra. Again, on paper, in my mind, I thought this was a great matchup for Goodra, just being able to heal off damage, as well as in combination of reducing damage. But 250, 500 damage turns, that's a little bit too tough. Congratulations here to Josh Frink. He's going to advance to top 4 now of the Late Night Special number 2. Cannot wait to see more. All right. Ooh, absolutely great play there. I think Josh has what it takes to honestly be a regional champion as well. I feel like if he brings this exact deck once again, he could see success just like Azul or Caleb easily making top 8. Because that's what it takes, right? All it takes is a good player playing Lost Box optimally. It almost makes Lost Box the best deck in format. But that's the tough part. Playing each and every card optimally, and that's something we have seen here from Josh. Let me check if we have another game for us here. Looks like Josh is the only one sharing their game at the moment. So let's hope they make it all the way to the final, folks, just so we have a streamed game. On the other side of the brackets, on this bracket, Harrison Birch against Isla Sutherland. Both players at 1-1. So that one looks like a very close game. Harrison playing the Klefki version of Lost Box against Arceus Giratina. Could be interesting. On the other side of the dragon, on the other side of the bracket, we do have David Hendrickson taking a game from Tom Hagen. While we have Willow Hunter, H. Gibbon taking a game against L. Friend, so that's another Lost Box deck taking a win against Mew and Genesect. Yes, we'll be right back as soon as we get another game in, so don't go anywhere. All right, looks like we're gonna get our game 2 or top 4 game here shortly. It's gonna be Isla Sutherland against Josh Frank. Arceus Giratina against this Lost Box Kyogre. Very curious about this matchup as well. We'll have to see if the sheer power of the 500 damage turn on Kyogre is enough, or if he can even get there with the Path plus Judge combination that Isla has access to. Once the game starts, we'll transition over, so don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. All right, looks like Josh is going to start us off here. Let me look at Isla's deck real quick. Again, it's an Arceus Giratina deck with the Squovid, the ever popular Squovid. As Josh is going to start us off with the Raikou V once again. Something Josh hasn't failed to start with, while Isla does start the optimal Arceus V into the active. Starting us off with the fleet-footed there, draws us one extra card, doesn't? We do have the Forest Seal Stone to work with here. The question is, do we use it right now for something like a Battle VIP Pass? The question is, depending on what we grab off this comp, because right now this hand, it does look good, but it does lack a couple of switch cards. Sableye or the Chorus Experiment is the choice here. Very, very tough. We do have a Chorus Experiment for the next turn, but it would be nice to have for the next couple of turns. I like this play here just because you want to have as many Chorus Experiment as you can get because of the fear of Judge, right? Path and Judge. Wouldn't be surprised if Isla does Judge turn 1 here. They do play 3 of them. Would have loved to see the attachment of the Forest Seal Stone just because there's no way for Isla to really get rid of it. There's no Lost Vacuum, I believe. As we move on over to Isla's turn, they do have the Nest Ball. Big question. Do they have the optimal DTE onto the Arceus? Scary thing is here. Opts to grab the Squovid off the Nest Ball and the Bidoof. Second Arceus. All right. Looks like I have a feeling maybe they don't have an energy in hand. They might be going for the Nest Dash for 1 to try and draw into possibly a supporter or an energy. Again, Nest Dash. They do have a Psychic Energy for the Arceus, and the Path of the Peak plus the Judge. There it is. Path plus Judge combo. Again, would have loved to see the Forest Seal Stone attached there to the Raikou. Does draw back into a Horus's Experiment at the very least. So right now, Josh is actually threatening this Arceus V. Arceus V can't use Trinity Charge at the moment. And it's just going to have to pass. Again, Arceus in the active has the energy. Going to be the Horus Experiment here. Could Dragonite's a great grab. All right, sending an energy plus the Sunav Ball to the Lost Zone. If they can attack with this Dragonite right now, that puts them in such a good position. Water Energy or the Chorus. A couple of energies already in the Lost Zone by now. Curious what they have in hand. They might just have to attack with a Cramorant. That's not that bad of a play here. Putting damage on the Arceus, as well as maintaining the path of the peak. They could struggle finding the... They could struggle in finding the DTE here. Again, DTE is a special energy. Double Turbo Energy is a special energy. One of the harder things to find. Not too many cards can really fetch it out of the deck besides something like the Starburst. But since Path is still in play, even if Isla evolves into the Arceus V, that's still not quite a possibility. Choice Belt doesn't quite matter here. They have to find it. DTE means they can even attack the Cramorant. Serena is going to be the supporter for a turn, most probably for the draw effect, where they can discard up to 3 cards and draw up to until they have 5 cards in the hand. Oh, definitely signifies that they don't quite have the double turbo. Would have had to draw into it off those 4 cards. If they miss it here, Cramorant takes a knockout on an Arceus V, putting Josh in such a great position. Cramorant spit in his... Oh, there's a double turbo! Do they have the Arceus V-Star? If not, they're going to have to use Trinity Charge here. Still giving up 2 prizes, but they still are in the game. No, it's going to be a Power Edge. Just a Power Edge, taking a knockout on the Cramorant. Yes, they take a prize, but putting themselves in such a precarious position. If Josh can find another Cramorant here, they do take a knockout on the Arceus. Let's see if they can find it. Maybe they don't play... Let me double check. They might only play 1 Cramorant. Or if they can draw into Clara. Yeah, they only play 1 Cramorant. Oh, there was a Clara, but looks like Josh decided to send it to the Lost Zone, opting to use the Chorus Experiment instead. Draws into another Clara and the Mirage Gate. They could just start swinging here with something like the Raikou, potentially. Maybe even the Dragonite, if they choose to do so. We're going to play 1 Energy Recycler here, putting back a couple of energies back into the deck. Mirage Gate is going to be the play, attaching both a basic, a lightning, and a water energy attachment onto the active Comfey, and this should be enough here. Lightning Rondo for 140 damage, enough to take knockout on that Arceus V. Again, that was the Arceus V with all the energy attached. Isla, unless they draw into... Let me double check if they do even play it. Yeah, they do play 1 Raihan. If they have the Raihan in hand, this is a very easy play, where you just use the Raihan, accelerate the energy. Well, I guess they could accelerate the energy, but they'd also need a double turbo in hand. And it looks like Isla's just gonna go ahead and concede this first game here. Josh just taking an absolutely huge win at top 4. Again, it's the punishing that one, well, essentially taking out all of Isla's energy in play, right? That was the game-winning move. Unfortunately, Isla just could not find themselves an Arceus V-Star. Again, the game is far from over. Top 4 here, late night special number 2. Isla, I'm sure, is going to choose to go first. They are an evolving style deck. And here we go. Looks like Josh, not the best hand here. Does have the Pokestop to potentially draw into a Battle VIP, potentially. That might have to be the play here. See what Isla has in store for us again. Ideally, you do start to Arceus. There it is. That's the nice thing about these Arceus decks. They don't need that much. You get an Arceus plus an energy attachment for turn. That's pretty good. There it is, double turbo. The best energy as well. Double turbo attached to that Arceus. If it's just gonna be a pass, Josh could potentially win here if they go turn 1 Dragon's Gale, but judging by the hand, it's not the easiest thing to do at the moment. They'd have to top deck into Chorus right here, right now, draw a couple of Battle VIP pass, use a couple of switch cards, get the Forest Seal Stone, send it to the Lost Zone using the Lost Vacuum. Couple of Mirage Gates. It's possible. There's the Nest Ball, though, so less likely now that we still could go aggressive. Just take a knockout on literally the only energy in play potentially. But I love wishing for those long shots, seeing those plays, seeing those absolutely aggressive plays, because they are possible for the Lost Box deck. In fact, it's built to do just that sometimes. As we do see Nest Ball for the Bidoof there. Again, Josh's hand, not the best. Isla really does prioritize dropping that Skovit turn 1. Again, 60 HP could be very scary for the Sableye. Grabs a basic energy. That's not that much. We're going to have to play some Pokemon Go. Let's spin the wheel, only grabbing the escape rope. He's going to have to just drop the Dragonite and attach potentially. Uses the escape rope to force one of the Pokemon into the active here, forcing the Squovid. Drops the Dragonite, just gonna have to attach just so that we don't lose this next turn. And just gonna be a pass there over back to Isla. I like holding on to the basic water energy just in case we draw into the Radiant Greninja. Ooh. D-Guard energy attached now to that Arceus V. Makes it that much harder to knock out. If it becomes an Arceus V-Star, it effectively has a 310 HP if you're trying to knock it out with a V Pokemon. Luckily, Dragonite does do 250, so it is still enough to take a knockout. Big research here. Sends 2 paths to the peak. Sends 2 paths to the peak there to the discard pile. Really prioritizing really prioritizing access to Starburst, right? Starburst, very powerful ability. With this Ultra Ball, pretty much guarantees Isla gets to find any 2 cards from their deck. Right now, all they're missing is a switch card to just start swinging here. That is Starbirth, able to find any 2 cards from the deck. One of the most powerful V-Star powers. So Isla here just taking their time, probably doing a quick deck check, realizing again what resources they have to work with. Let's see what they decide to grab. Again, looks like they grabbed a second Pokemon plus the switch card. Just like that, Isla's pretty much set up. Even has the Path of the Peak as well, discarding the Pokestop. Josh is in top deck mode. And this is the struggle sometimes when you're playing Lost Box, right? If you're playing Lost Box and you don't draw into those early Chorus experiments, sometimes your deck can be a little bit clunky. A lot of live cards here, though, for Josh. I mean, if they draw into possibly a Comfey, they can start retreat to it. But no, just a basic water energy attachment onto the Dragonite, just a pass. If that bench Arceus was Giratina instead, Isla would have this game. Again, it's more optimal definitely to have the Arceus V-Star just because those are the cards you can Sharon's Care potentially. And again, very comfortable position where Isla can just swing here, swing into the Dragonite, threaten the 2-shot, Choice Belt. Oh, Choice Belt on to the Arceus. And just like that, that's actually, since it only, without Double Turbo, Arceus does a base of 200 damage. With the Choice Belt, that's 230. My mistake. Isla, my mistake. You don't need the Giratina V-Star sometimes to take those big one-hit knockouts. Just like that, we're tying things up 1-1 here. for top 4 to late night special number 2. Who's gonna make it to the final? Is it gonna be Josh with their Lost Box Kyogre able to storm up 500 damage in one turn? Or is it gonna be the hyper consistency of Isla's Arceus Giratina? Again, doesn't need that much. Has the capability to just keep on swinging in combination with those disruption cards. Opening hand here could have been great because we do already have the chorus in hand. But unfortunately, without a basic Pokemon, it's not gonna do, despite having 3 Nest Ball. Very, very tense here, folks. Josh mulligans 1 card. Double Battle VIP Pass, not too bad. Has a Student Heavy Ball as well to get to see what's in the prizes. All right, here we go. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, of the late nights of top 4 of the late night special number 2. Josh Frank's gonna start us off. Battle VIP Pass, absolutely powerful card. Student Heavy Ball being played there, does grab the Cramorant. It is the one-off Cramorant, so great to just grab that right there. We're gonna see Flower selecting Energy Recycle or the Energy. Looks like we're prioritizing Energy right now, just so we can use these concealed cards to draw 2 more. Has a Chorus Experiment in hand. Grabs a Comfey, could potentially grab 1 more card. Looks like it's just gonna be the Comfey. Do have a second Battle VIP Pass here. Could opt to grab the Sableye this turn as well. Looks like we're just thinning it out from the deck. Pokestop, we're spinning. Just discarding 3 cards, never mind. Unfortunately, couldn't find the switch there. Couldn't quite get to 2 cards in the Lost Zone, because that's where you want to be, turn 1. Want at least 2 cards in there, unfortunately. But Pokestop did thin out 3 cards as well. Energy attachment to that Arceus. Does have the second Arceus in play as well. Drops the Pokestop. There it is. Judge plus Path combo. We had the chorus in hand. Can we draw back into it? The answer is yes. Has a switch card as well. Isla does find the Nest Ball. Are we going to find ourselves the trusty Squovit once again? Most likely the Bibarel here, because that is the one you want to start evolving. Oh, sorry, the Bidoof. Trekking Shoes. I like Trekking Shoes addition to the Arceus deck, because I talked about how the only 2 things you need at the start of the turn, really your very first turn, is Arceus V plus an Energy. And if you're going first, opening hand, more likely than not, you have no other ways to draw because we don't have Crobat in the format. Trekking Shoes is one of those ways. Looks like Chorus being played here for double switch card plus the Energy. Looks like we're going to grab the Chorus instead, sending 2 Energy to the Lost Zone. This early could be scary here. We could... I like grabbing the switch cards. You're trying to say that, you know what, I'm going to Dragonite this turn. Take a knockout on the Arceus, potentially. Flower selecting, play next. There's the Dragonite. Gonna have to send the Sableye to the Lost Zone. And just like that, we do have... Okay, so we had 3, 4, 5, 6. With the Forest Seal Stone, if we can draw into Mirage Gate here, we do have the game... Oh, not the game. We do have the knockout, potentially. Dropping the Dragonite and the Forest Seal Stone. Looks like we are going to use it, potentially, to just grab the Lost Vacuum, send the Path of the Peak to the Lost Zone, and we can start drawing with the Radiant Greninja. Looks like we are going to just go into the switch card here. If we could draw into Mirage Gate, that would be absolutely huge. There's a Mirage Gate! Sends the Echoing Horde to Lost Zone. We don't even have to discard the Path of the Peak anymore. I believe this should put... Oh, yeah, this should put us over. We're going to send the Raikou to the Lost Zone. Are we going to send the... Yeah, we're going to send the Forest Seal Stone. Path of the Peak now is actually our friend. Attachment onto the Dragonite. Mirage Gate, as long as we have 2 energies. No, there's no Lightning Energy. There's no lightning energy in the deck. Without lightning energy in the deck, that means we can't attack with Dragonite, unfortunately. Oh, heartbreaking that we have the energy in hand. It's going to be a retreat there onto the Dragonite. We could shred for 50, set up the knockout on the Arceus the following turn. It's going to have to be a pass. Could have been absolutely huge here for Josh. But again, Isla still has to find double turbo plus an Arceus plus an double turbo plus an Arceus V-Star to start swinging here. Dragonite should be able to take a hit. There's the double turbo. Do they have anything else? Serena is going to be the play here. Going to have to discard 2 cards. They had a judge. They opted not to play it. Draw 4 cards here. Do they get the Arceus V-Star? If they not, this is a Trinity Charge turn. Trinity Charge wouldn't be the worst. There's the Ultra Ball, though. Discarding Giratina, another path to the peak. Is going to find the Arceus V-Star. But again, because of the shred, that does set up a knockout on the following turn. The question is, did Josh waste too many resources trying to maneuver this play? Maneuver into the Dragon Scale. It's just going to be a Trinity Nova here. 180 damage is able to accelerate a couple energies onto the bench. Looks like they are going to accelerate to the Giratina. It's going to be a pass there. Do draw into Nest Ball. Not quite sure what else they need to find. They do have the Chorus's Experiment. Easy send there. It's just going to be a Dragon Scale for the knockout. Putting them down to 4 cards is pretty big. Essentially, this is the position you want to be in, right? When the Lost Box player is down to 4 cards, they could potentially win the game, but they did lose the Echoing Horn, right? Without the Echoing Horn, they can't force back another V Pokemon. That means whatever's in play, that's what we have to work with. The scary thing is, but there's a Skwovet. So there's your 4 prizes right now on the bench. They're going to see an attachment onto the Arceus V. And a Palpad could put back another Judge, potentially. And a Research here. Discarding a Switch. Very tense game. Does evolve the Arceus into the Arceus V-Star. Playing the Trekking Shoes again. What the name of the game here is going to be, Josh has to start setting up the board, and I want to count the resources in the deck, right? They're going to have to attack with a Sableye this next turn, potentially take a knockout on the Skwovet, plus set up damage on the Arceus V. Comfey's in the active right now. Flower Selecting is going to get them 2, or net them 2 cards, has to grab the Sableye. I'm not quite sure how many cards we have in the Lost Zone, but we do have the Sableye at the very least. That was stage 1 of the plan. 12 cards left in the deck. Looks like we're going to start with a switch card first. No, it's going to be the Escape Rope instead. Again, with Path of the Peak, Starbirth, not something Isla can play. But also stops Josh's Radiant Greninja from really digging through the deck. For a second there, I thought that was a Flower Selecting. It was a Nest Ball. Grabbing the... Oh, such a tough choice. I hate to see it. When you send a Chorus Experiment to the Lost Zone, gonna be a switch card here onto the Sableye. Heals 30 damage off the Comfey, which is nice. Not too useful at the moment. Looks like we might just be going for the knockout on the Bibarel there. It is the Pokemon with more value. However, it does leave 2 Pokemon with over 280 HP, right? If Isla can evolve the Giratina to a Giratina V-Star, Josh is gonna have to do another set of lost mining this next turn. Tricky Choose now being played again. Josh could potentially win this next turn, right? Only needs to take 3 cards from... only needs to take 3 prizes. But with that Ultra Ball, means we're going to see the Giratina V-Star. We're going to have to Sableye one more time. Question is, do we still have access to Clara in the deck? I know we sent one Sableye to the Lost Zone. Looks like 1 Clara already in the discard pile. They only play 2 Sableye here. I wonder if Isla even has a way to retreat here. There's 1 energy on the Arceus, 7 cards in hand. Oh, Raihan is the play. Since the knockout was taken last turn, that means we do get to accelerate an energy from the discard pile, as well as find 1 more card from the deck. Okay, this next turn, it's going to have to be Sableye once again. You want to set up damage on both Arceus and Giratina. That's why I would like to see possibly Sableye knockout on the Squovit, and then 30 damage to both Arceus V-Star and Giratina V-Star. You could attack with the Cramorant potentially. 110 damage, set up the Arceus. But that means after an escape rope, as long as Isla sends up keeps the Giratina on the bench, they should be okay. But right now, again, Isla still has to take 4 prizes, down to 3. So Josh still has 3 turns here to really set up this play. Should be something that is possible. Question is, again, it's a matter of resources at this point. Draws into the Clara right off the bat. Not too bad. Gonna Flower Select here. It's when the deck is this thin that Flower Selecting gets so much harder. Again, having to send Mirage Gate to the Lost Zone. Do we have enough? Do we still have a Mirage Gate in the deck is also a question. Clara now being played. We could also go... Yeah, we could even attack with a Dragonite once again, right? We could set up 30 damage on both. Well, 60 damage on the Arceus plus 30 damage onto the Giratina. You could set it up that way, but Dragonite, it's 2 prizes, and there is a Giratina V-Star. Escape Rope now being played. Let's see what Isla chooses to promote. And here's the thing as well, right? Isla plays Sheriff. The minute Isla picks up Arceus V-Star, that might be the end of the game. Just gonna go for the Lost Mine here. Looks like we are gonna choose to knock out the Squovits. Put 30 damage a pop. Oh, no, sorry. No, yeah. If Isla chooses to pick up the Arceus, that means they are left with Giratina V-Star. That means that's why we have the Dragonite. Okay. Tough choice here, actually. Josh doesn't even have to attack with the Kyogre. They can't opt to just attack with the Dragonite if Isla opts to not bench anything else. Is this another checkmate scenario? There's a Nest Ball. Nest Ball could find another single prize Pokemon. No, it's just gonna be a pass. It's gonna find nothing here. Again, with only those 2 Pokemon V-Stars, typically those are quite big to deal with. Big judge here. Does find Mirage Gate, Nest Ball, Basic Energy. These are all Josh needs here is a switch. If Josh can find an out to a switch card, they are going to make it to the late night finals. There it is, huge Trinity Nova here doing 200 damage to that Sableye. And the knockout. Draws into Kyogre. I think that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and flower selecting. There's a switch card. There's a switch card, and I believe that's all that's needed. Nest Ball can find the Dragonite here. Dragonite should be able to take a knockout. Oh no, it can't. It can't take a knockout on an Arceus V-Star. It had to be Escape Rope. Because of the 30 damage, because of that V-Guard energy, has to be Escape Rope here. Heavy Ball's not quite gonna do it. Another Nest Ball. Something they could do here is just pass. If they find the Nest Ball here, they grab the Dragonite right now. Isla could boss and win the game. The pass is, I think the play is to pass. They could attach this energy, but that means they have to find a water energy this next turn. It's gonna have to retreat onto another Comfey. Another energy recycler's not too bad there. Looks like they're opting for the Pokestop. Again, this is the hard thing. This is the hard thing about playing this Lost Box. What resources do we still have? If we're going for the Kyogre play, we need the second energy recycler. If we're going for any other play, Pokestop is the grab. Looks like that is exactly it. Three energy recyclers in the Lost Zone. They could go Nest Ball, grab the Dragonite. If there is an Escape Rope in the deck, there is. No, but they'd have to draw into the water energy. They lost the water energy. Ooh, I think. Okay. I think playing that Nest Ball was a bit of a mistake, right? That means they can't draw into the Dragonite this next turn. It's gonna be tough. They have one more turn to pass here. They can pass. They're gonna draw into one card. The one card has to be energy. The thing they can't draw is the Escape Rope because they want to Pokestop into the Escape Rope. They need energy and Dragonite. So they have to draw into an energy, Comfey into the Dragonite, leaving the Escape Rope in the deck for the Pokestop. V-Guard energy. Again, just putting in so much work in Isla going down to one prize. Just takes the knockout there. Big draw here is the energy. Has the Pokestop. Discard. Oh, we can discard the energy from the concealed cards. Draws into a basic energy. Oh, we can draw it to the Dragonite. Oh, that was a perfect way to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I was spewing wrong plays left and right. This was the most optimal play. Drawing into the energy. There's the Mirage Gate. Water energy and the lightning energy gets accelerated onto the Dragonite. And then there it is. Escape Rope. Forcing the Giratina to the active. Dragon's Gale once again. 250 damage. There's a knockout on the Giratina. Whew, and just like that, Josh once again making it here to the final of the late night special number 2. Lost Box hurts my brain, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, we choose the 2 prizes, and that should be all she wrote, I believe. All right, we're going to go ahead and take another quick break here. We'll be right back. Let me check here. Let me check how many... sorry, let me check the other side of the bracket, excuse me. Okay, so other side of the bracket, here's David Hendrickson against Age Gibbon. David is up 1 game over Gibbon. David playing Lost Box with the Zamazenta, Snorlax, and Kyogre. Against Lost Box with Galarian Zapdos V. Interesting. It's gonna be a Lost Box final no matter what. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, my head is gonna hurt after tonight. But that's a-okay. So we're about to be treated to a masterclass of Lost Box, and if there's any deck to learn, it's this one. Even if you're not playing it, it's nice to learn to play against it as well. right. All right. Sorry for the extended break there. I even lost my voice there for a second. But should be starting up in a couple of seconds. Looks like Age Gibbon was able to take the win over David Hendrickson. So it's going to be Age Gibbon against Josh Frink. Lost box mirror, but deck lists look very, very different. Once the game starts, we'll head on over. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at both these players' decks. Again, we know Josh Frink's deck. It's the Azul. So it's Azul's deck that made top 8 in the Milwaukee Regional Championship. Sorry, it's top 4. And he's up against Age Gibbon. Again, they're also playing Turbo Lost Box, but they do have Drapion, Galarian, Zapdos in their deck. And a Boss's Orders. Okay, so there are a couple of changes, and a Sky Seal Stone. Interestingly enough, there's a lot of tech cards here. We'll have to see if the tech cards come into play. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the finals for the late night special number 2. Josh Frink against Age Gibbon. Gonna have to see which player goes first. Typically in the Lost Box match, you want to go second. You want to get the first hit in with those Cramorants. Looks like Josh is going to start us off here. Does have a couple of Chorus Experiment in hand. Those are good cards to have in your hand for sure. And typically the goal is to get 2 cards into the Lost Zone. Josh here just going through the deck, realizing what's in his prize cards. Looks like he's going to grab the Compe. Looks like prize 1 Chorus Experiment. I'm trying to go through the deck as well. Didn't quite get to see what else, but we're gonna go ahead and flower selecting here. Energy Recycler or the Psychic Energy. I think Psychic Energy is the grab there, just in case we draw into something like the Gradient Greninja. Grab the attachment onto the Compe. Back into this other Compe. Mirage Gate or Escape Rope? A tough choice here. Looks like Mirage Gate is gonna be the grab. And from here, I believe it's just a pass. Looks like opposite bench disable. I like that play, just in case, of course, we see the turn 2 Greninja. That's a play that could definitely come up shortly. Gibbon here starts with a Battle VIP Pass. Again, if you start this card, you know you're having a good time. One of the most powerful cards in standard formats, but only on the first turn. Gibbon here going through their deck. Opposite grab, Radiant Greninja, and a Compe. So a little bit off to a better start here, I'd have to say. So having that Greninja in play means you get to go through your deck a little bit faster. And also is one of the better attackers in this matchup. First flower selecting here. Something you haven't seen yet. There it is. Chorus Experiment. So Chorus Experiment and plus the Battle VIP Pass going second. That's pretty good. Next question is, do we have the Radiant Greninja? We need 1 more switch card, well, 2 more pivot options, and then the Cramorant to start swinging, or even, if they can do it, attack with the Moonlight Shuriken. Again, take 2 prizes, take out both Compes, essentially trying to take out both the, both cards that can send cards to the Lost Zone. 2 support Pokemon, that would be absolutely debilitating here, if possible. It's going to take a couple of more cards into the Lost Zone. That's going to be the 4th. We're going to need at least 2 more Compe. Oh, there's a Battle VIP Pass. Second Battle VIP Pass played now. Grabbing the Manaphy plus another Compe. So another 4 cards in the Lost Zone. If they retreat to the Compe, that'll be 5. And then if they have the Lost Vacuum plus a tool. Oh no, not even. Even if they just have the Lost Vacuum, because they do own the. Excuse me, they do own the beach court. That is their stadium. That will go to the Lost Zone. Goes into the Compe here. That's 5 cards now. Ooh, with potentially 9 cards to work with. Question is, if they have it. Oh, I just have to think that's a game-winning play. Gonna have to see here. It involves, I believe, no attachment yet per turn, so just Mirage Gate attachment. There's the Lost Vacuum. There it is, Lost Vacuuming. Sending the Raikou to the Lost Zone and the beach court. Do we have a switch card? Do we have a water energy? There's a water energy attachment onto the Radiant Greninja plus the Mirage Gate. Ladies and gentlemen, it happened. Turn 1 Mirage Gate. Turn 1 Moonlight Shuriken. I cannot think of a better turn 1 attack than this. It's again, they're gonna take out 2 Comfeys. If Josh didn't bench that Sableye, this game was done. But right now, I don't even see a way to deal with this Radiant Greninja. As Gibbon here is just gonna take 2 prizes. I believe, yeah, it has to be taking a knockout on both the Comfeys, getting rid of Josh's access to really select some flowers. Ooh, absolutely debilitating here. Again, this is Gibbon's first turn, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely an uphill battle for Josh, but if anyone can do it, it's gonna be Josh Brink. There it is, Sableye to the active. Draws a water energy per turn, not the best. There's a Chorus Experiment. Looks like they're gonna opt for Comfey, Heavy Ball, plus the Pokestop. Let's see what they can work with. Sending the one and only Cramorant to the Lost Zone. Looks like Radiant Greninja was prized there. That's why Hissy and Heavy Ball was the grab. Drops the Radiant Greninja. But again, Gibbon does have the mana fee, so they can't have as of an explosive turn as Josh. Just gonna go ahead and retreat to the Comfey again without the Cramorant. I'd be surprised to see even an attack this turn. There's a Force Seal Stone. Gonna have to Pokestop here. We're gonna have to be spinning. We're gonna be playing some Pokemon Go. What do we draw? The Nest Ball and the Switch card, not too bad, but sends the Raikou to the discard pile. What is the grab here? Might have to be Dragonite. There it is. There's a Nest Ball. Might have to grab the Dragonite to start swinging. Looks like Manaphy is the grab. But we don't have an attack then. Could potentially attack with a Kyogre. Does have Surf. It might just have to be a pass here. If that's the case, oh, we're in trouble. Giving essentially another free turn to work with. Even just attacking with a Cramorant puts Gibbon into a 3-prize lead. It's gonna be a switch card here onto the Radiant Greninja. Never mind. Looks like trying to find a way to just take a turn. Like Radiant Greninja here is looking to essentially eat a turn, but if Willow could get 3 more cards into the Lost Zone, that's Sableye range. Looks like Gibbon's gonna start us off with this Suian Heavy Ball again. Gets to look at the prizes. Looks like and does have the Chorus's Experiment just like that. 9 cards now in the Lost Zone. 1 more. Then switch card and the Sky Seal Stone. There's the Sableye Energy Attachment for turn. All it takes here is 1 switch card. There's the Escape Rope. Comfey should go into the active. Would have loved to see the retreat first, followed by the Escape Rope, because right now there's no energy attached to that Comfey. And there's just 1 energy hanging out on that Radiant Greninja. We're gonna see a flower selecting here. Guys, gonna need a second switch card to be able to attack. Do they have it? 7 cards in hand, and just have to guess they do. They could even Pokestop still. Looks like they are just gonna play this switch card, go into the Sableye. Just like that, gonna take 1 more prize. They could even potentially take a knockout on the Manaphy. forcing Josh to find Clara this next turn, or else they're, again, just Radiant, the threat of the Radiant Greninja once again. It's going to be a Lost Mine here. Could knock out, yeah, it's going to be knockout on the Manaphy. Damage set up on the Comfey. Very, very scary turn. And 50 damage now on that Comfey means if Josh benches another, that's 2 prizes. That's a two prize range, even after a switch card. Josh having the force to play this Radiant Greninja this turn, and if they play this Chorus, that means they can't attack with the Radiant Greninja. Grabbing Echoing Horn plus 2 Mirage Gate. Just gonna Flower selecting here again. Grabbing another Escape Rope. Do they have 10 cards down to Lost Zone? Gonna have to Pokestop. Discarding a Clara, discarding resources there. Another Pokestop plus an energy. I don't think they can attack here. They'll have to attack with a Dragonite. That's more damage on the board. Oh, they can use the Forest Seal Stone attached to the Dragonite. Able to use Star Alchemy, find themselves a Lost Backing. That will bring them up to 10 for sure. Next question is, what do they attack with? Again, there's no Manaphy in play. They are in threat of Radiant Greninja once again. Looks like it's gonna be the Echoing Horn sent to the Lost Zone there. Sending their own Forest Seal Stone. Just like that. Should be at 10. Can use its Mirage Gate to accelerate energy onto the board. There it is. It's just going to be a Lost Mine. Yes, they can knock out the Sableye here because that is a threat, and then set up damage on the Manaphy, I'd have to guess. Yeah, if Willow has another Mirage Gate, they could potentially attack with the Greninja once again, or even just if they can Sableye again this turn. They're going to be taking 2 prizes off the Sableye plus the Comfey. They will be going down to 1. Looks like they did promote the Manaphy first. Maybe signifying a switch card to heal here. Sorry about that. And we'll see, looks like Manaphy's still in the active here. Little Hunter going for the Mirage Gate. Have to guess it's on the Radiant Greninja. That's why they kept the 1 energy on that Radiant Greninja, specifically for a play like this, knowing that Radiant Greninja was probably gonna survive the turn. Chorus Experiment being played. I like that sequence of events. Get the energies out of the tech first before you Chorus Experiment. Sending Drapion and the Nest Ball. Sometimes, you know, when you play these cards that don't really matter in this matchup, makes the Chorus Experiment, makes the Comfey a little bit easier, and there it is. Josh just kind of have to concede this game just because the turn 1 Radiant Greninja was a little bit too explosive. Let's see if Josh can tie this up again. This is why we play a best of 3 here. But yeah, Gibbon just one win away from winning the late night special number 2. And over 100 players were playing in this late night. Go. Josh opting to go second. Let's see if they can recreate that magic. Starting off with a Comfey and a mulligan draw. That's looking good. Opening hand, not the greatest here. I was hoping to draw probably into something like a Chorus Experiment first. They will get 1 extra card, plus their draw for turn, plus a Comfey. They will see 4 cards at the very least. Let's see if those 4 cards help out. All right, draws a Forest Seal Stone, definitely gonna help out. Forest Seal Stone is essentially a Chorus Experiment since there is a Raikou on in hand. Let's see what Willow can do. Willow going for the flower selecting, hasn't benched anything just yet, has an 8-card hand, drops a Dragonite, could signify a Forest Seal Stone quite shortly. There it is. And Forest Seal Stone gives any Pokemon V a V-Star power, essentially half a Star Birth. Star Alchemy here, guess to find anything from their deck. If I had to guess, probably a Battle VIP pass, because this is Willow's first turn. There it is, Battle VIP pass, and most powerful card of the game, but only on the first turn. Opt to grab a Comfey plus the Manaphy, definitely respecting the turn 1 Radiant Greninja, just because it's definitely possible here. Plays an energy on to the Comfey, retreats, gets the flower selecting once again, and that's honestly, that's the best you can ask for turn 1. Getting 2 cards into the Lost Zone sets you up very, very nicely these following turns. Sends a couple of key resources though to the Lost Zone, but there's more of those. Josh here going for the draw, finds himself a Pokestop. Looks like they are gonna be spinning here. Gets 1 Nest Ball, discards 2 Water Energy, not too bad. Getting a Nest Ball is great here. We're gonna go ahead, Flower Select, Radiant Greninja has to be the grab. Gonna start Flower Selecting again. Are gonna see multiple cards here. Gets a Battle VIP pass. Absolutely great. Can find themselves Comfey and a Manaphy. Does have a couple of switch options. They could go for the Escape Rope or the switch card. Escape Rope could force Willow Hunter into a more awkward position. Excuse me. Yeah, could force Willow Hunter into a more awkward position here. But there's 2 Comfeys in play. You just have to guess it's going to retreat to another Comfey. Josh having to play their Raikou is a little bit of a threat. It's not as hefty as Dragonite, but you have to do what you have to do to get cards into the Lost Zone. And something Willow does play is Boss's Orders. Alright, sends the Escape Rope plus the Battle VIP pass to the Lost Zone. Is just going to grab the Cramorant. That is the ideal attacker for this situation here. Since we can't take multiple prizes, might as well just take 1 for free as we go ahead and just spit innocently. Could use the Lost Vacuum, get rid of the Pokestop just to make sure opponent doesn't quite get to use it, sending the Energy Recycler to the Lost Zone there. As we spit innocently for the knockout here. 110 damage. Flower selecting now. All right, let's see how Gibbon can respond again. very easy to respond for sure in the Lost Box Mirror. All you need is 4 cards in the Lost Zone and your very own Cramorant. Start swinging. There's a Chorus Experiment, should help out here. Means counter now is 5 cards in the Lost Zone here for Willow. Sending Battle VIP Pass plus that Fighting Energy into the Lost Zone. And Fighting Energy is there for the Galarian Zapdos V. Finds another Comfey. 5 cards out in the Lost Zone. Escape Rope being played. Will protect the Cramorant. Puts up the Comfey. Oh, what was that? Nest Ball now being played, should find themselves their own Cramorant. Potentially, they could even go for a Sableye if they have it here. Depending on if they have like Lost Vacuum in hand. No, it's gonna be Radiant Greninja. Had to guess. Haven't quite seen that Pokemon just yet. 6 cards into Lost. So no, even if they had the Loss of Vacuum, it's a little bit too tough. This will put them up to 8. They needed at least like 2 more Comfeys, right? There's the Nest Ball here. Now could find the Cramorant. It's gonna be Sableye. Did I miscount? Did I miscount? Do they have more? Do they have 10? Cramorant could be prized. Goes with Escape Rope here. It's gonna be an Escape Rope to another Comfey. They could go for Radiant Greninja, just go Moonlight Shuriken for 90 at the very least. That might be the case. Sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Can't afford to not take a prize here. It's gonna be a pass. Back over to Josh. This is exactly what he wants to see. Flower Second being played. Grabbing a Comfey. They're going for the Mirage Gate. Signifying they are just gonna start swinging here with the Raikou, really prioritizing getting prizes. Retreat now into the Raikou. They could still fleet-footed, draw 1 more card. Or Steel Stone, not gonna be the most useful card. Might as well just drop it here. Let's go for the Lightning Rondo. That is for weakness as well. Takes the knockout here. But something that could happen. Dragonite could start swinging. There's a Chorus Experiment. Looks like someone in chat mentioned the Chorus were prized. I'm sure Josh grabbing one of them is breathing a sigh of relief. Pass it back over to Willow. Again, they could attack with a Dragonite, but then Josh could respond in kind with a Dragonite of their own, or could start targeting the bench with Sableye. Because to attack with the Dragonite, you're putting damage onto the bench. So not the greatest thing. Chorus Experiment once again. That's probably the main supporter that's going to be played every single round. Looks like Sableye is going to be attack for choice instead here. Going for the Lost Mine, most likely targeting down that Manaphy. And setting up the Comfey for knockout. Spreading damage around, putting 20 damage on the Cramorant as well. Does draw into Nest Ball. They could attack with a Cram of their own. Fleet-footed here. Let's see if they draw into... No, not quite. No Clara just yet. Escape Rope could be interesting here. like Willow opts to promote the Comfey. Ooh, not much of a choice there. Sometimes you hate to see it. So Course Experiment means no... Yeah, Course Experiment means no Manaphy this next turn. Things could get scary. But Josh could really set up some plays here. Looks like, again, just thinning out the deck. Grabs the Sableye, sets up their own Radiant Greninja. They even have the Switch card to start healing. Opts to grab the Dragonite just in case. There it is. Switch card will heal this Comfey. Go into the Cramorant. Looks like they're going to opt to heal the Cramorant as well. There it is. We're going to see a Lost Mine, if I had to guess. Taking a knockout on the Manaphy. Taking knockouts on a Manaphy just puts in so much pressure. Puts in so much pressure to find the Clara for the next turn. Putting 50 damage on the Comfey as well. Means even if they switch cart that Comfey, heal 30, that's still in range to take a double KO. Josh looks like in a much better position for sure. Let's see how Willow can respond. Looks like they did find the Manaphy, right? Clara will be able to net 2 Pokemon from the discard pile, put it back into the hand. They even grab the Radiant Greninja, so they do threaten a 2 prize knockout this turn. This next turn, excuse me. Yeah, they could Moonlight Shuriken this turn, take a knockout on Sableye plus a Comfey, potentially take 2 prizes. But Josh can respond in kind thanks to the 50 damage set up there onto the Comfey. Stop now being played. You have to wonder, loses the boss's orders. That could be big. That could have been a way to close out the game with Dragonite. But now that is no longer an option. Plays the escape rope here as well. Shouldn't matter too much since both players really have the capability to target down essential Pokemon. Something they need to do, potentially, is switch card the Comfey back onto the bench, retreat the Sableye, then use switch card again to heal the 50, and then attack with Radiant Greninja. If they could do that, they could bypass a 2 prize turn this next turn. There's the first switch card here, healing 30 damage off that Comfey. We're just gonna see a Sableye here, not a Radiant Greninja. So this is still gonna be a knockout on the Sableye and just setting up damage. Clara being played on Josh's side. Again, it's just trading blows here, but going first in this matchup just matters so much. Opts to bench a Sableye over something like the Manaphy, but it's because they're eyeing the 2 prize turn themselves. Flower cycling now. Again, when the deck is this thin, it could get very, very scary. I believe he's just going to be able to at least go down to one prize here, taking down the Manaphy and this, yeah, the damage Comfey. Setting up the math nicely means all Josh has to do is find another way to attack with Sableye and does win the game, or even just attack with a Raikou. And there it is, just like that, Josh ties the series up, 1-1. We're going to a game 3. Normally, would expect this to hit time. Lost box mirrors and all. But we're going to have a champion here. Downside is, for Josh anyway, the Willow will get to choose to go second, right? It's just a matter of how stacked each player's opening hand is. Getting the turn 1 knockout is just way, way too big. Opening hand. Again, gonna give Willow an extra card. Just one extra card though. Starting out with the Comfey. Not much else though, only has the Sableye. Yeah, we have to assume Josh is going first. Willow opening up with the Dragonite, not the most optimal open. Josh going for the flower selecting. Ooh, tough choices. Gonna have to get rid of the Mirage Gate. It's gonna be spinning. Here we go. We're playing some Pokemon Go. Can we draw Battle VIP Pass? Draws 3 big cards here. We'll be able to find the Radiant Greninja plus the Manaphy. Ooh, I got worried there. If Josh wasn't able to find Battle VIP Pass, could have quite easily lost this game to another Moonlight Shuriken turn 1. Does get the Comfey, and this is the all-important 2 cards going first, right? 2 cards into the Lost Zone. Is prioritizing Dragonite over the... Yeah, prioritizing Dragonite there, just so that we have access to Forest Seal Stone if needed. And could potentially even knock out this Dragonite later on in the game. So pass back now to Willow. Does open the Battle VIP Pass themselves here. Chorus Experiment, that's exactly what you want to see on your first turn. Switch card onto the Comfey. Gonna have to flower select here. That means 3 cards now into the Lost Zone. 10 card hand, absolutely huge. Can they find themselves a Premret is the question. There's a Manaphy, the all-important Manaphy here. Battle VIP Pass, second one played, will guarantee that another Comfey, another Cramorant. They're gonna have to retreat into the Comfey, find another. If they have 2 pivot options, they have the knockout. Beach Court is a free way to retreat here, but again, you can only retreat 1 time per turn. Energy attachment there onto the Greninja. But I mean, since it is free retreat, in any case, getting an early energy attachment on the Radiant Greninja is pretty big. Gonna retreat here onto. Wait, did I miscount? They only have 3 cards right now in the Lost Zone. Lost Vacuum is gonna be able to bring them over the edge here, sending the Beach Court to the Lost Zone there. And there it is, just a Spit innocently for the knockout. Might just have to trade Spit innocently, to be honest. As Willow takes the lead in this game. All important first knockout of the game. Finds the escape rope. Could go for the Chorus experiment here. Grabs another Chorus. Has a couple of cards. Doesn't quite have the Nest Ball just yet. Gonna have to conceal cards for it. Draws 2. What's it gonna be? There's a Force Seal Stone that could at least guarantee the Cramorant if that is the play we're going for. Oh, or we could draw into it. Gonna have to send a Mirage Gate though. Could be awkward. Again, this is the only Cramorant. By grabbing the Mirage Gate means you're gonna have to find a way to attack this next turn. This turn, that's not a Cramorant. I feel like Cramorant might just be the play because we'd have to waste the Mirage Gate anyway to be able to attack this turn. Cramorant pretty much guarantees we have an attack this turn. Very tough choice. Looks like opts for the Mirage. Oh, no, not just yet. 12 seconds to make this decision here. Very important flower selecting decision. Yeah, I think it has to be the Cramorant. Because either way, again, if you're using Mirage Gate, if you want to attack this turn, you're going to have to use that Mirage Gate. Anyway, this is just like you just used it. Opts for the escape rope here. I wonder if Willow opts to promote the Dragonite this next turn. Promoting the Radiant Greninja. Radiant Greninja can take this hit. Curious to see why not just a knockout on the opposing Cramorant. Maybe really prioritizing having those switch cards for later in the game. Again, this is 110 damage that will stick, setting up potentially for a 2-prize turn. Something we did see Caleb Gedimer do, or was it Caleb Gedimer or Azul GG? One of them really did try to just set up game on board, right? By not taking knockouts, and this next turn, just maybe setting up for like a Sableye play, and essentially just take all your prize all in a single turn. That is a possibility here. They can put 110 damage right now on this Greninja to set up damage on board. That's something I would love to see here. Because again, by not taking this knockout this turn, by just having 110 damage that sticks here, go for the boss's orders on the Manaphy. Okay, my mind is thinking very, very hard on this one, chat. So this is going to be a knockout on the Manaphy, one of those cases where boss's order is absolutely huge. If Josh wants to attack with Sableye this turn, I have to think if they need to play the Chorus, because if they just attack with a Cramorant once again, that means they take a knockout. They free up a bench space. I just have to think that's exactly what they're going for. They're trying to not give up a bench space. Flower selecting being played. There's 6 cards now in the Lost Zone. They have to use this Radiant Greninja. Draw 2 more. 6 cards now. They're gonna have to use this. They're just gonna use the Chorus here. Chorus grabbing Sableye is gonna be pretty important part of this strategy for sure. You gotta make sure those Claras really get full effect, if I had to guess. Looks like opt to grab the basic energy there. Ooh, this puts a clock. This puts them on a very, very, very close clock, though. Just lost vacuuming the Forest Seal Stone just to send it to the Lost Zone. This will put them to 10. There's a switch card here. And they're just going to go for the Lost Mine. Set up. I believe it's going to be set up knockout. Yeah, there we go. Set up knockout on multiple Pokemon. Right now, if Willow can take a 2-prize turn this turn, up the clock a little bit, put some pressure on Josh's side of the board. Radiant Greninja drawing 2 more, 9 cards to work with. Seeing Heavy Ball. If if they just attack here with a Cramorant, this is going according to Josh's plan. I'd have to guess anyway. They're playing a Clara, could signify grabbing those water energies to really utilize the Moonlight Shuriken. And just Boss's orders on that Manaphy was really, really big in my opinion. Plays the Escape Rope here. Means Radiant Greninja should be able to go into the active. That means I have to think. This is math. This is math. Right? There's four prizes left. Willow's about to take 2 prizes. That leaves Josh with 2 turns to set up damage here. There's 60 damage, 60 damage, 110. In order to win the game, they have to knock out Dragonite, Manaphy. They switch card, healing 30 damage. They have to knock out Dragonite, Manaphy, Greninja, and 2 Comphase. Dragonite, Manaphy, Greninja, 2 Comphase. Yeah, that's 6 prizes. That's 230 damage. It's 10, 230, 240, 240 plus 20, 260, 330 on the Comphase. Plus 40, 330, 370. They need to do 370 damage. I don't think that's possible within the next 2 turns. Because you're only attacking with Sableye. You're doing 120 damage per turn here. Willow's about to take a 2-prize turn. I think if Josh had the Manaphy, this is a knockout on both the Comphase plus the Sableye. Taking 2 prizes. I don't think it's possible. Again, you have to do 300. I did the math. 300 something damage. I think the way to win would have to be just take the knockout now, right? Just attack with the... I think you just have to gamble, take the knockout now on the Manaphy, the Greninja, and the Comphase, and just hope for a primal for the Kyogre this next turn. Right? Because if you think about it, it's going to take Sableye at least 2 turns to knock out 1 Dragonite. 230. You're only doing 240 damage. You just have to hope your opponent doesn't have Clara this next turn. Goes for the Escape Rope here. Yeah, I think that has to be play. You have to just knock out. Take these 3 prizes now and hope you can take three prizes this next turn. My head hurts, guys. All right, here he is. Lost Mine. Again, if he just set up damage, A 5, the best we could think, I think the best we could do is a 5 prize turn this next turn. Looks like it's still setting up damage is the route here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maintaining the bench lock. But again, if I just have to think again, if Willow if Josh had at least one more turn, I think this play was possible here. Pass it back now to Willow. Unless there's something I'm not seeing. Because Dragonite is just way too big here. Lost vacuuming, getting rid of the Pokestop. You know, it'd be nice if Josh played something like the Howlucha. Can you imagine? Just Howlucha, take 2 prizes. Knocking out the Manaphy as well, opening you up for a Kyogre play. But even then, if you think about it, that's a 3 prize swing with the Kyogre. You'd have to be able to play, you'd have to play 2 Howluchas. Not even 2 Howluchas isn't enough here. It's going to be attached from there on to the Comfey. There it is, 110 damage. So right now, we are going to be taking 5 prize cards, I believe. The only question is, again, if Willow has something as easy as Clara, they do win this game. Like, this is the turn you take knockouts. I think the 2 prize swing on the Greninja was just a little bit too good in Willow's favor. 9 seconds to make the decision. Nest Ball. Grabbing the Raikou there. They could swing the Raikou with the Raikou. They swing with the Raikou. That's the same thing. We swing with the Sableye and just hope. 8 card hand, and they don't have an answer in the 8 card hand. Have to think. They just have it here. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a lost bind. Here we go. Very big turn here. This is the turn we took knockouts. It's gonna be a 4 prize swing. It's not even enough for a 5 prize swing. So they will be left with a Comfey to try and dig. Josh here is gonna be able to take 4 prizes at the very least. This next turn, if Willow doesn't have a response, that will be Josh's game. Looks like Kyogre was prized too. Not that it mattered in this matchup. But you get to see, again, it's probably just 1 turn short. There's the Sableye. There's the energy. Do we have a switch? And the escape rope, and that is gonna be enough. That is gonna be enough to close the game here. Just like that, Age Gibbon is gonna be your late night special number 2 champion. My head hurts. Again, it just goes to show how powerful this Lost Box deck is, but I have to give it up to Josh as well. I think he played that to the best of his capability. But again, Greninja taking 2 prize turns, just a huge attacker in this matchup. But yeah, so that